Word up.
All right. You guys ready? I'm ready. All right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody back to the Built Different Show. Yes, this is episode 109. I have been on this screen 108 of those 109 times. My voice is going to be gone by the time I'm like 32, which is only in like 5 years. But we have a lot to talk to you guys about today. The NBA playoffs are finally here. This is like our favorite time of the season. So make sure you guys sit back, kick it with us, chill, get some laughs, because I promise you this episode right here is going to be a slobber knocker. An
What?
absolute slobber knocker.
Oh shit.
So who wants to kick it off with how they're doing? You know, a little monologue. Talk to us.
Matt,
Monologue crazy.
All
Me.
three of us haven't been together in a minute, man. What you got to
Right.
say, my guy?
Last episode was fire. It was good to be back. I'm very happy to be back. Just needed my own alone time for a little bit. But now I'm just ready to go full-fledged with this. I'm happy to be with y'all too, bro. And Wolfie. Shout out Wolfie. I got to be on an episode with Wolfie soon. I miss that motherfucker.
Shout out to the Wolf. Shout out to the Wolf. Same shit won't flush, fellas. Same shit won't flush, man. We live in New York state of mind, man. Waiting for this weather to get better, man. Me and Matt were just talking about that. Everything
Yo, it
else.
was good, and now it's
Yeah,
bad.
man,
What's
it's
going
too-
on? I gotta
yeah,
have
man,
an
it's-
old man rant about the winter again.
It's crazy bipolar, man. You know me, man. I'm
Uh-huh.
always going to go on about that, man. New York Nick down, man. So it's a lot of New York Nick talk that we're going to be having today. Past, present, and future. I look forward to it, man. Let's
Dude
get it,
said
fellas.
New York dick down. Hey,
Yeah,
yo.
man.
He's like, no.
Let's go. You know what I mean? You see the background.
No, man.
You know what
I mean, same. I'm just tired every day, grinding. We're getting through. Hopefully, we're just waiting for the sun to come out and be out for the next several months. But until then, we got the NBA playoffs. MLB is hot. As you guys were already introduced to them, I'm here with Matt and Kem. I'm your host, Thomas Saxby. This is something I should have said in the beginning. But listen, fellas, I'll say this before we get into it. I have to rant just a tiny bit real quick on about how the NBA is really fucking toxic and how the NBA is in a shit spot right now. The talent is there, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't really enjoyed the NBA too much this season, man. The games have been harder than ever to get into. Good coaches getting fired right before the season ends. A handful of pathetic players on max deals. Trades that never would happen before are happening. Paul George, but
Bradley Beal. Yeah,
it's just the game's been harder to watch than ever. I mean, you're seeing it so much now. Players on fast breaks just ahead of everybody, stopping and pulling up threes. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of game planning going on. Just a lot of stupidness, but I'm hanging in there. Why am I hanging in there? I'm hanging in there for all of you guys, and of course, my brother's here. So real quick, what we want to dive into though, because that's gonna lead to our Mike Malone segment, is that Matt had said some very, very controversial things on last week's episode. So what he said was,
he's got his MVPs in the 70s. I'll give him that. But who the fuck cares about MVPs when you can't win a ring? If Magic doesn't come around, does he win shit? Other than the one time when Oscar. No, once Oscar left, he couldn't move a fucking needle in the league outside of getting MVPs when not even making the playoffs. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
So yeah, Matt said that Kem, our old head, our residential old head, has issues. Look, he's locked in right now. He has issues with what Matt had to say. So we are going to revisit that. I'm going to sit back, eat some popcorn, which I don't have popcorn. I think popcorn is out of date, out of style. But you guys take
what the hell?
Hey, man. Listen, man. First and foremost, I think it's egregious of you to have a take of such. It's just crazy, man. Being a Laker fan, first and foremost, I have a problem with that, right? I don't know if it's James gang that you actually are, or if it's the new wave of basic, what is that, like player loyalty versus like franchise loyalty.
Not even a LeBron fan.
Okay, bet. All right, so real quick, right? As we did the flashback, I need you to give me just a little bit more in depth as we currently on this episode, so that I can rebut.
A little bit context. You want a little bit more context?
If you would, please.
My fault. So, like you were saying, we Laker fans.
Okay.
We
All right.
diehard Laker
Okay.
fans.
So we got that in the bag.
I grew up with Kobe and Shaq. That's when I first started understanding the game or liking the game.
Okay.
Then Kobe, Gasol started
Mm-hmm.
loving the game, and from there on in, I was stuck. I was
Mm-hmm.
just set in the NBA. But
Mm-hmm.
my gripe was mostly. I do
Mm-hmm.
have some gripes with LA, Kareem, a little bit, not much though. You know,
Okay.
he was on the back end of his career and shit. There was a
Mm-hmm.
couple issues, like kept getting fucking smoked by Moses Malone, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my gripes was 70s Kareem and Bucks cream. A little bit of Lakers cream because, you know, when he got there,
Mm-hmm.
randomly won an MVP but didn't make the playoffs, you know,
Mm-hmm.
random gripes like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think Kareem, you know, still a top 10 player of all time. I'm not
Mm.
I'm not disrespecting Kareem as if I think he's a bum.
Got you.
He's
Okay.
still one of the
Okay.
greatest players of all time.
Okay. Okay.
But let's go 6 months into the past. I would have had Kareem at like 4. I
Okay.
got Kareem around 7 now. You
You
feel
got
me?
Kareem around 7. Now
Got
give me
Kareem around
a
6
little
or
bit
7.
of now I need context as to why he's would drop down to 7. So first, let's break down some of the Milwaukee years. All right. So
Copy.
70 to 71. All right. They did get the big O, known for the triple dub, right? 66 and 16 season, also where he won his championship, where he won the finals MVP
His
as
first
well.
MVP.
His
Yep,
first
regular.
MVP for regular season as well, while getting big O. Something that you said earlier that I want you to remember when you said why you are a Lakers fan. He could not do it by himself. You said
Right.
Kobe and Shaq and Kobe and Gasol, right? So now let's rewind back. Now I'm gonna go back to the 70s, right? Kareem could not do it by himself, right?
Nope.
He couldn't do it by himself. So
Couldn't
when
do
he
it by
got
himself.
somebody who he could run with, he actually won something to go with that MVP and got that championship too. Now later on, before he was to get to the Los Angeles Lakers, our Los Angeles Lakers, he did win another. He did win another MVP as well as made it to another championship where he lost to the Boston Celtics. In that time, over those 70s years with Kareem, right? Let's talk about how many different teams won the NBA championship. You had Boston, you had the Knicks. I'm wearing the Knicks right now. The only chip that the Knicks ever won. You had the Bullets. You understand what I'm saying? You had Golden State. You know what I mean? It was a crazy, crazy time for the NBA. And then once he did get to LA and get that piece that is necessary, you know what I mean? He went on a run and got his other 5 championships. But let's talk about in between that, because I want to know where, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right. So let me just run through real quick. So 72 still has Oscar. He had Oscar till I think 74, 75.
Yep.
So he won his second MVP. Lost in round 2 to the Lakers.
Yep. Excuse me. Thank you.
33. Yes. Sorry, LA. 33-year-old Jerry West, 35-year-old Wilt, 37-year-old Elgin Baylor. Shouldn't have lost that. Let's go 73. Lost in round 1 to the Warriors. Got shut down by Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman, great player, top 75 player of all time, according to the NBA. Not probably according to me, but never would be put on any type of pedestal as much as Kareem is. 74, won another MVP. Made it to the finals, lost to a Bill Russell-less Celtics, but they still had, you know, John Havlicek and guys.
Dave Owens. He went at it with Dave Owens in that one. Listen, now that's another thing that you said on the last pod about that sometimes when it comes to these old games and this old stuff, you got to study. And when it comes to things like that, when it comes to Kareem, like I want you to finish going, but I got to break in when you're talking about that Elgin Wilt team and everything like that and Jerry West. Remember, Jerry West had been losing to the Boston Celtics back to back, right? That we just couldn't get over that hump. So that age, along with the experience, why he is the logo, come on, man. We cannot chalk that up to a young Kareem. He's not even in his prime yet. You understand what I'm saying? But still winning the MVP.
That's year 5 Kareem, man. That's year 5
Absolutely.
Kareem.
Listen, not his prime.
Oscar's old. But
knees taped up in every game.
Elgin Baylor, 37, putting up like 11 points a game.
Come on, man.
Is nowhere near putting up the numbers he was putting up. He was putting up like 19 and 12 at that point. It's just like, given that's a Laker team. That's, you know, I'm happy we won that shit. But on the other end, Kareem, that's a year I think they probably should have made it to another fucking finals. Pushing it a little bit later. Eventually they lose Oscar.
He
He's
wants
stuck.
out.
Yeah, he wants out because he can't make it to the playoffs year after year, and then gets to LA.
Mm-hmm.
A merger happens. All
Mm-hmm.
these good players come into the league from the ABA
Mm-hmm.
because at that point, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, Kareem was the face of the
Mm-hmm.
worst league at
Mm-hmm.
that point. The
Okay.
ABA had stronger talent. Those guys come over. Kareem doesn't make the playoffs a couple more years. And it's just, or one more year with LA after not making the playoffs with Milwaukee on its own. And it's just, I don't, if that was LeBron not making the playoffs multiple years in a row in his prime, because at this point, once Oscar leaves, he's now in his prime, 26 to 29, 30-ish. That's his
Yeah.
prime. He's not making the playoffs in his prime years, whether he had the best talent around him or not. He's not making bringing his team to a playoffs. He's winning 38 games a year.
You said it though. He doesn't have the talent, bro. The talent that the Lakers, we were gathering that
Kareem
talent.
didn't have the talent though.
But listen, those championships that were won was not due to him. When he even got to the Lakers, there wasn't anything until we got like it was the Michael Cooper thing. Then it was the Magic Johnson thing. Then it was Norm Nixon and all of the different pieces. Yep. And then those staple pieces, yes, those and Jamal Wilkes, thank you. Those were all the staple pieces that were needed to have championship on championship on championship. That was when dynasties were created because of what you're talking about with the merger. So the NBA was in a flux where he was still winning MVPs and kicking ass. Now, at the end of the day, you're right. We can't say nothing about the amount of games and things like that he won, but his dominance just reigned supreme. He never stopped averaging under 25 points. He never stopped averaging under 11 rebounds. He never stopped averaging under 2.5 blocks. He never stopped averaging under 4 assists a game. He's never stopped doing these things. And the crazy thing about this shit is that 4 years, they weren't even tracking blocks 4 years into his career. And he's third all time in blocks. So there's things that weren't even tracked that you're dropping him down to 7 that you just said. Yeah. So it's like, come on, bro. I'm kind of upset, man. We Laker fans, man. You can't drop him. All right, come on. Okay, come on.
But also, once Oscar leaves, given Jim Price is nowhere near as good as Oscar Robertson, not at all. Jim Price and Bob Dandridge, both All-Stars with Kareem for 2 straight years. So it's not like he had no help. Those guys were putting up 15 and 7 and 20 and 5 and 6 or some shit. It's not like he had no help. And also, if we go further back, if Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, guys like that, Elgin Baylor was a great defensive player too. Those motherfuckers would have been averaging 5 blocks a game because they were so much better than the rest of the town. So Kareem would definitely be dropped in that all-time block list alone just based off of that too, if they were counting blocks from before. But then we get to LA. Make it to the finals once, Magic gets there. Magic is having a great run. He's averaging 33 and 13 in that finals. Goes down for the final game. And given I can't hold that against Kareem, he went down after having such a phenomenal series. That's the game, though, that Magic said, all right, step aside, big dog. This is my team from here on out. Put up 42, 15, and 7 with Jamal Wilkes putting up 37 piece right next to him. Said, we don't need Kareem.
But we won 2 more chips after that altogether, though, bro. You can't say that.
They won more than 2. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying right after that, 2 more chips back to back after he did
not
that.
After
back. He went down.
Not back to back. 80. That was 80. 81. They lost to Moses and the Rockets in the first round.
Yes. 85, 87.
Oh yeah, 85, 87. That's 7 years difference from that one title. That's a whole 7 years difference. That ain't back to back.
But I'm talking about as a team, man. As a team, they won. They didn't.
Worthy came in. They got guys like Scott. They were building. That team was elite. And those last 2 titles, Kareem wasn't even the fucking option, man. He was a 3rd and 4th option on those last 2 rings. Not saying
that is year 16, 17, 18 of his career, right?
Yeah, 17 and 18, yes. Career 18 and 19 year. 18 and 19 year.
He's done. 89 is when he retired.
Is LeBron done?
89 he retired.
But yeah, 89 he retired, and that was 87 and 88. So year 18 and 19. But that's why I'm saying people use this longevity thing with Kareem like they do with LeBron. His longevity is nowhere near as good as LeBron. His last 7 years in the league, from 35 on, he was putting up. Yeah, you saw that, Thomas. You just saw that. From 35 on, he
Cam looks stressed out.
averaging 18 and 6, bro. That's nowhere near longevity like LeBron. And I know what I'm saying. LeBron, but
1,560 games.
Miles.
1,560 games, brother.
And also in between all
7
the bullshit
feet
I'm talking,
1.
He's
not
6'9". And all the bullshit I'm talking, I get it. In between that, he was putting up phenomenal performances. I'm not saying he's shit, man. All I'm saying is I'm dropping him to 7. Because
19-time All-Star.
If there was other guys that I have ahead of him that had this, and also his last 3 seasons he was an All-Star, he was averaging 14 points a game. Those were legacy All-Stars. He would technically be a 16-time All-Star. Don't do that. Get the All-Stars the fuck out of here if we're doing that argument. His last 3 seasons, he had All-Stars.
He's trying to dismiss 16 straight All-Star appointments. Like that does not put him in the top. That's crazy, bro.
And he is in the top. He is in the top. I have him at 6 or 7. It's not like I'm not putting him in the top 10, bro. I still have him up there.
So, Cam, I got one more question before we just move on from this segment. Mm-hmm. Who do you have? Where do you have Kareem on the all-time list? On you said.
So I got Kareem. Last
episode you said 3.
Yes. No, I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, I'm gonna say 4, man, because we got 2 guys, man, still playing, man. That I am gonna have to rework these rankings. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. So I would imagine the people ahead of Kareem are MJ, LeBron, and Steph.
Say that one more time.
The people ahead of Kareem for you is LeBron, Steph, and MJ.
No.
Who?
MJ, Kobe,
and Bron.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So Steph is. Mm-hmm. So Steph is hanging in at like number 5 for you.
Yeah.
Then.
He's hanging in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my question to you is:
4. I had him at 4 6 months ago. I'm not shitting on
Matt
for having him at 4.
Matt got to say all his shit about Kareem last episode, so I'm gonna give you a chance. What makes Kareem better than Steph? What makes Kareem better than Magic? And what makes Kareem better than? Is there anybody ahead or Larry Bird? Do you put Larry Bird ahead, Matt?
No.
No. I got you're good. I got LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Steph, Magic. And that's it. Yeah, I got Kareem at 6. All
right, so Kem, what would put Kareem ahead of Magic and Steph?
Oh no, 7. Shaq. My bad. I got him as the second best center of all time. Sorry.
So some of it.
And Shaq.
Okay. All right. So some of it I said while me and Matt was going at it though, bro. But the 6 MVPs, the 19-time All-Star selection. Listen, man. Just let's say like what we're doing with Steph now, how he impacted the game and changed the game. Kareem had the legendary sky hook. That's still one of the most unguardable shots that is used by big men today. Like literally, regardless of how much the game is played, how the game has changed. Remember how the game is played. Like regardless, you understand what I'm saying? Like it still was an unstoppable move at the time. So that's one of the things that like there's no way that I can't like have him up there. And then we were talking about the mainstays. Literally, Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, and fucking Kareem. Listen, man, that 3 was like the first real big 3 in basketball as a mainstay in an organization for over 10 years and had championships to back it up. So without him being the big man, mainstay, stalwart, offensive presence along with the defensive presence to like kind of just hold people off so that the showtime could get going. His rebounds, he averaged 11 rebounds a game along with 4 assists, you know what I mean, over his career. So what we're seeing with Luka and LeBron, you know, with the long pat, like go back and watch some of the Showtime Lakers, guys. This is just what we did. And what Matt is talking about towards the latter part of his career, that was all he could do. He couldn't run. And once we got in the half court, it was he got into his move. And if the move didn't work, it was a kick out, Magic, and it was a lot of different things. So at the end of the day, man, it's one of those things where it's hard, you know what I mean, to not have him as one of the greatest players. Now, wherever you have him ranked at in your list, that's up to you. But what I was trying to do was just give a little bit of fact along with how the game was played to have him put higher than what people may say because people don't get to see some of those old games. And it's like Matt said, you got to go study and watch some tape, man. But YouTube got it all for everybody. You know what I'm saying? To go check it out, man, and you get to see for yourself how the game's just grown and evolved. Excuse me.
Of course.
Yeah. So listen, I love all the arguments. I love that whole debate. That was a really good way to kick off this episode. So we'll move right into, and we'll let the people decide, because like it seemed like when I posted the short for what Matt said, it seemed like it was 50-50.
Yeah, it was. I thought I was about to get way more shitted on. I'm gonna be real. When that went out, I thought I was about to get my head torn off. Cause, like I said, only a few months ago, I still had Kareem even higher up on my list. So it's just I think mainly it's just it's a time thing. Like I think, like, you know, for someone like me and you, Matt, we don't know what it was actually really like Kareem being in the NBA. Like we don't really all we have is stats and archives and all that. Like, for example, like I can't put LeBron as easily ahead as Michael Jordan as like everybody, like not everybody, but most people can, because I know most people got LeBron above Michael Jordan now. For me, I wasn't really alive during Michael Jordan's heyday, but everything I hear, how he dominated the league, you know, from, you know, start to finish of his career, how, you know, he whole career with the Bulls went through all that bullshit. We know the Bulls have always been a shitty franchise. Even when they were winning, they were a shitty franchise. Go watch The Last Dance. But you know, just the way Jordan dominated, I don't think LeBron has accomplished. I think he's accomplished longevity, yes, but I don't think he has accomplished true domination, because like you're sitting here talking about, I don't really think he's the face of this generation, and that's a hard pill.
Yeah, and real talk, not even
LeBron as undisclosed, undoubtedly number one. I have him 1A, 1B with Jordan.
Yes, but the crazy thing about it for a lot of people, right, real talk, one of the greatest seasons, like no question, and just to carry on what you just said, one of the greatest things that people should do, or one of the greatest seasons that people should go see, is Michael Jordan's MVP season that I mentioned last episode, where we did
first MVP.
Like his first MVP, where he didn't win the championship, where he also won Defensive Player of the Year. And look at that dominance and that hunger and that just watch that, and then see what it led to after that. You understand? Because he actually didn't win the championship for that MVP season, but that set the stage for who Michael Jordan is and what his legacy became. And that, for me, is what seems to be the difference between him and LeBron, for me, as a person who was
as time goes, like guys. Shit just gets lost.
Yes,
and also that's to that point as well. It's like the only reason I even wanted to make any of this point about Kareem is just because I feel like a lot of us younger guys that watch the NBA, it's more of we got like LeBron, Curry, Kobe, Duncan in these conversations because we grew up on them, we watched them. But the other guys that we have a lot of people have in this conversation, they never watched a lick of those games, and they just they go by what older fans say or by what Basketball Reference says, and they don't actually know a damn thing about the game back then. So they're like, oh yeah, I got Wilt in my top 10, but they don't know a damn thing about Wilt or about the game back then. So
I got Wilt in my top 10, and
that's fine. That's fine. You can have Wilt in your top 10. I also do, but you have to have a basis around why you have Wilt in your top 10. And so my whole thing of why I even wanted to have the argument in the first place is to just have people educate themselves more on the old part of the game. And also another thing, I'm nitpicking with a lot of the shit with the Kareem shit, but when you get into this top 10 argument, you have to nitpick, especially with the older players, because the media now was not the media then. The media now is so up the players' asses and beating them down for every little wrong thing they do on and off the court, that if it was like that back then, maybe people would look at players a little bit differently. So that's just my whole thing about the argument, is I just want people to educate themselves about the league and not just know from 2000 on. People got to educate themselves prior.
And that's what what I appreciate too, bro. Real talk.
100%.
Hell yeah. So moving forward, that was a beautiful start to the episode. I didn't have to do too much, which is great. I'll start off with this segment. I'll ramble on for a little bit. So Mike Malone was fired.
Poured out.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a pour it out segment for Mike Malone. As you guys know, with the pour it out segment, it's for anyone that's retired or any version of a franchise finally dying off. And I think it is safe to say with Mike Malone leaving, the Nuggets are going to be probably completely different next year, most likely.
Yeah.
Especially since the GM was fired for not making, too many moves. With Mike Malone, man, I think it was very unfair. I think it was very unjust. I don't care what they're saying now about how, oh yeah, they lost 4 in a row, or Mike Malone kept playing Westbrook. Like, who else is he gonna fucking play on that team? Like, I get they have some, good young players. There might have been, some players that made some impacts, but Russell Westbrook, he's your sixth man. He's been your sixth man all year. You have to continue to go to that. It's not like he's playing so terribly that you got to move him down the depth chart. But listen, with Mike Malone, man, he coached with love. He was one of the, few coaches in the NBA that absolutely loved his players. He wasn't afraid to admit it, like so many coaches are. I think Jamal Murray's comeback alone was a lot of that was fueled by Mike Malone continuing to believe in him, because there was so many times where Jamal Murray, go back to even when he came back and how hard he was struggling, that Jamal Murray was like, dang, I don't know if I really belong here, and Mike Malone was like, you belong here, you're going on the ride with
he
us.
thought he was going to get traded because of the injury, and Mike Malone's like, nah, you're home, bud. Like, you ain't going nowhere.
Like this is it. He won an NBA championship too, which is so hard to do. Like in today's game, you're either overloaded with talent, like the Boston Celtics, and you win, or you just have a perfect scheme. Like, for example, the Toronto Raptors, and also, a few injuries from the Warriors. But, the Nuggets, they didn't have that perfect scheme. They weren't overloaded with talent. They won, just off of love, off of just like they won off of pure chemistry and pure good shit. And his coaching, I think
100%.
his coaching honestly was really, really good. Like, when you talk about Jokic, of course, triple-double machine, like, one of the best players of all time, could have been a 5-time, in a row MVP. I think, honestly, Mike Malone played a huge part in that, because when you talk about how the NBA is, Jokic is the first person that we've really seen be this triple-double guy. Like, he's kind of the first center to really be a point guard and a center basically at the same time. And honestly, Mike Malone allowing that outlandish, behavior, that outlandish talent, breaking the mold, getting Jokic out there and saying, you do, what it is that you feel is best. And then look what Jokic turned into. He has the most wins as a coach in Nuggets history. 8 straight years with a winning record. I really don't understand it, guys.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, at least do it at the end of the season. He deserves that respect.
Give him one more playoff run. Like, that's what I don't understand.
And then they said that they're trying to give the Nuggets the best chance to win a championship by, going with something else. And I don't, but he's led you to a championship. So my thing is that when I opened up this, episode with saying that the NBA is toxic, I point to this one right here, because he deserves way, way, way more respect than what he did. He's not even going to get to ride into the playoffs. He's not going to get to fall on his sword, out there on the court. He's just fired, and it's just weird. I don't understand it. I don't like it.
I 100% agree with everything you said. I think shit's a joke. I think that shit is sad on an organizational standpoint. Like, somebody who's been a ride or die for your organization for 8 straight years has put his best foot forward, has fought for the players, has fought for that front office, and for you guys just to, and given the GM, I get it. There was some moves that, Jokic hasn't had a real backup center in 3 years. Michael Porter Jr. is probably your best trade piece, and you never sold high on him. Aaron Gordon's your arguably probably second best, most important player on the team, because Jamal Murray keeps having injuries. So I get there's changes of the team that could have been changed, but Mike Malone should not have been the answer to kick out.
And that's the point that I left out. Thank you for reminding me of that. Like, Mike Malone has nothing to do with any of the front office moves. And he just did what he had. He did what he had to do with what he had. And honestly, what he had this year wasn't much. I'm not going to lie. Like, we were going into the season this year, and I said, I don't really feel strongly about the Nuggets. And obviously, Jokic made us believe. But Malone had nothing to do with Michael Porter Jr. being one of the most inconsistent players in the NBA. Had nothing to do with the fact that Murray just can't get it going like he used to anymore. Nothing to do with the fact that Russell Westbrook is his best option off the bench. Nothing to do with, Aaron Gordon. He might be the second, most important player on the team, but that's a scary statement when you're trying to win a championship. So
I'm gonna take a different take, fellas. Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I want to. Go, bro.
The only other point I was going to say is also the GM he also was just letting people walk for nothing. He wasn't bringing anybody back. KCP walked for nothing. Bruce Brown walked for nothing right after a championship. And then, just last year they had such a good season. Playoffs hit. They went out early, and then they didn't add a single piece. But anyway, Ken, continue, big dog.
No, I love everything that everybody said, but I'm also going to take a different angle. Well, we all know that him and Calvin Booth didn't get along. Some of the decisions
Yes.
that Calvin Booth made, along with some of the parts that Mike Malone got. Mike Malone is a particular type of coach that purely deals with player development. That's literally what he has built. Now, you say 8 seasons, 8 winning seasons, but 10 seasons as a coach there. Since 2015,
Yeah.
he was their coach, right? Now, the crazy thing about that, man, is that I believe that a lot of shit is just different. Like, so for a lot of people, I was happy to hear that you said center was the first triple double machine that we were able to see, because we've also got to witness Russell Westbrook do the same thing. And I think that that's something that Mike Malone really, really dug. I believe that it's something that Jokic really, really dug. And because Mike Malone developed Jokic into the player that he was, it's something that also brought Jamal Murray in. You got Aaron Gordon again, seconding what you're saying about being the most consistent. Even though he's chipped up, he be out there ready to play, the most consistent player out there besides Jokic. You understand? I think that there was a clash, not only with the GM and Mike Malone, I also think that there was a clash with some of those players. If y'all looked at some of those games, remember that it was like a little while ago, the last game when Russ missed the free throws and shit like that. Like, just watch some of the language and shit like that with some of the players. I think that, and then you already know that we got Jokic saying that that's his dude. You know what I mean? And we know how Mike Malone treats guys like these guys. Like, so I think that some of that shit is a bunch of mixture. You know what I mean? I think that, and it's just probably was time for a whole new change with the ownership group. You know what I mean? Winning so many championships that they have. Shit, they had the Avalanches won. You know what I mean? Like, they're winning up there. So as far as that ownership group goes, so it's a lot of shit mixed in between that, bro. And I think that as it pertains to sports, man, it's about entertainment and money, and they don't want to have it looking like it's a fractured, you know what I mean, thing there. They need some stability, you know what I mean, in order for that. And the cool thing was Jokic said that it was a decision, not a discussion. So at the, you know what I'm saying, that like at the end of the day, you know what I mean, so it was something that he couldn't offer his opinion about, or if he had something to say, wouldn't matter anyway. So again, man, as this is a pour it out for Mike Malone, and listen, man, the winningest coach in franchise history, the most playoff wins in franchise history for that team. Come on, man. What can you say? He brought them a championship and they were still winning. So it's hard, man, for a guy like that. You know what I mean?
I do 100% agree with what you're saying. It's just like cut ties before it gets to the point where you're a franchise that's barely holding on. I do get with what you're saying, but it's sad to see, I guess. Yeah,
for sure it is. And
just
then
a couple of weeks before the end of the season, man, just like let them ride it out.
Well, I think that another report also said that, you know, I think it's like a toxic workplace, like, you know, where people don't talk to each other and shit like that. You know, that don't work where there's millions and hundreds of millions of dollars walking around in the building like that. That doesn't make sense.
And as more time goes, like, I'm starting to somewhat understand why the Grizzlies did it. I think I think
that,
a dude has like no control over his own locker room. I mean, you're seeing it more now, like who these players actually are, and you know, John Morant throwing grenades and, you know, shit like that. I think he had no control, you know, over that locker room. And I mean, I think they could have won more maybe if they did have a better coach. So whatever. I guess I understand that, but this one I don't. But let's move on for the sake of time. Some baseball talk. You know what we love to do. Cam and Matt come at me with some baseball. I come back with some baseball knowledge. And then so what you guys got?
You can go first, big dog.
All right, cool, man. I got a couple questions, right? Well, I got 2 questions, 3 players, okay? And it's a 2-part question, okay?
Okay.
And I think you'll follow my theme when I mention the player. Mike Trout is and will go down as.
Okay, this is good. Yo, Cam, that is good. Mike Trout is one of the best players in the 2010s on, and he'll go down as one of the best players of the 2010s. I don't want to say I don't want to say Mike Trout is overrated. That is not going to be the words that come out of my lips.
Okay.
At the same time, Mike Trout wasn't the leader that he needed to be. He wasn't the healthy player he needed to be. He just wasn't what the Angels and himself needed to be to take that next step. And those next steps was to be Trout being in that upper echelon of all-time players, but also, the Angels winning a championship. I don't think Mike Trout was that player that he needed to be. But granted, very talented player, 5 tools, got everything. One of the best, if not the best player from the 2010s on.
Okay.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Manny Machado is and will go down as.
Manny Machado is the most underrated player in Major League Baseball and will go down as one of the most underrated players in MLB history. But it's his own fault. He was an asshole at the beginning of his career. He was sliding into and injuring people. I think if I'm not mistaken, he ended Dustin Pedroia's career. He was getting into fights. He got into a couple of fights. His mouth was getting him in trouble. He was injured a few times in the beginning. But he's turned it around. He's become such a good leader, but people aren't going to know that or care about that because of how he was in the beginning of his career. So they underrate the fact that he's been one of the most healthiest players out there. He's barely missed any games in the last 8-9 years. He's been one of the most consistent players. He's probably going to hit 500 home runs. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Okay. Jacob DeGrom is and will go down as.
Jacob DeGrom is blue balls and will go down as blue balls.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, man, he's probably the most talented pitcher ever, but he can't stay healthy, so I don't think it even matters. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer either. So it just is what it'll be fun when we get down to it 5 years after he retires to see if he gets in the Hall, but it's blue balls, man. He comes and teases us with a month or two of some of the best pitching we've ever seen, gets hurt. Sometimes it's for the rest of the year. Sometimes he'll come back, get hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just blue balls. That's what Jacob DeGrom is.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Okay. That's what I had, bro. Thank you.
I like that.
Fair.
I like that format of questioning. I do like that. I might steal
that was good.
That
was really good.
Those in the future. And so for me, first off, did you guys see that? What's his name? Tyler Alexander. That fucking the catch he had behind his back. First off, I saw that highlight.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting fucking things I've seen in baseball recently.
There's been some highlights this year. I mean, there's a couple plays that Victor Scott on the Cardinals made, in the outfield, just absolutely diving and just risking his whole life for these baseballs.
But the actual question I had, so one thing I have been hearing, again, I don't follow baseball all that much, but one thing I have been noticing, especially with him being on the Yankees last year, going to the Mets this year, is Juan Soto worth that money?
Dang, man. So last episode, I absolutely went off. So if you guys want the full answer to that, go see that. I think people that are questioning this whole thing are knuckleheads. Because remind me how old Juan Soto is?
I don't even know.
26, 27, right?
27,
and he just got handed $700 million. That should tell you alone what kind of player this is. On top of that, he hits to all sides of the field. I get he's struggling right now. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
MLB, baseball players struggle. You're getting 100-mile-per-hour fastballs thrown at you. You only get maybe one hit per, one ball per at bat that you can do something with, especially if you're Juan Soto. But he sprays all the entire field. He can hit opposite field. He can hit to the field he's supposed to. He can hit down center. He has power. He has contact. The biggest thing is he'll get more walks than he does strikeouts. The Washington Nationals, the stinky Washington Nationals. I'm a Nationals fan. Nobody likes the Nationals, it feels like. But when it comes to Juan Soto, he was able to, at the age of 20, help lead that team to their first World Series championship. And then he gets traded to the Padres and he leads them to their first NLCS. And I forget how long they said it was. And then he goes to the Yankees and helps them lead them to the World Series for the first time since 2009. I don't think the contract is solely on his performance, but if it was, I think it's justifiable. But if it's not, it's what he brings to a franchise. He brings winning, and the Mets have not won since 1986.
Right.
So they brought in a winner. Let's see if he wins. If he ends up injured or sucking, I mean, It is what it is, but I think the contract is justified no matter what, because what the Mets want to do is win, and I think they were patient and waited for the perfect guy to include in this formula.
I mean, yeah, and it's only 14 games into the season. So, like, I've just been seeing so much hate on him, and I was like, damn. And so then I looked at some stats and everything, and he's hitting like a
and that's who Juan Soto is. I'm not
like, but I'm just
I'm not saying Juan Soto was inconsistent, because like when Juan Soto's having bad games, he's still taking his walks, he's still getting a good hit here and there. But when he's hot, and people are gonna see that and be like, oh, maybe the contract was worth it. Oh, maybe the Mets are a problem. Man,
copy. And yeah, that's all I got, big dog.
All right, but yeah, I mean, listen, baseball, it's off to a really fun, fast start. I've won a bunch of bets so far. Last year, I did not at this point. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are actually first in the AL in the AL East as it stands. I think the Toronto Blue Jays are very underrated. They're at 8-7. They re-signed Vladimir Guerrero to that long extension. I do want to say right here on this podcast, I think the Blue Jays are a problem. I know the Red Sox and the Orioles are really good already, but in the AL Central, the Tigers are leading that division. I said it. I said that they would win the division. I said that they would keep it going. The Twins are 4-11. I said that they'd be booty, and they're absolutely atrocious. I tried to watch a Twins game today. I had to turn it off. The Twins stink. And the AL West, the Rangers are dominating. The Angels actually look pretty good. The Mariners, they kind of stink. They need hitting. NL East, the Nationals are off to a better start than a lot, of people would predict it. I know they're still in fourth. They lost to the Marlins today, but they actually won that series with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I want people to fear the Nationals. All this talent is coming. It is here. The pitching is good. The hitting is good. They're scrappy. They're a good young group of dudes. And then the Mets and the Phillies are atop that division. I think the Atlanta Braves are fried, by the way. I think the Braves are done. I think the goose is cooked. Stick a fork in it. The Braves, they don't even look like they want to be there. I think this is going to be another thing where players are traded, their coach is fired as the season goes along. NL Central, the Brewers and the Cubs are tied up there. And then the NL West, the Padres actually have a better record by a half in a game than the Dodgers. But them Giants, watch out for those Giants. But that's all I got for baseball. I had to make that a little quick.
Okay. Okay.
Damn, I just rambled.
No, you were just cooking.
That was nice. Yes.
Yeah, I'm cooking. But all right, so top 5 at each position in the NBA right now. So let's spit these off.
How do we want to do that? Do we want to all do point guard, or do you want to just run through our list real quick? Okay, so point guards. I'll just start real quick, just because I started interrupting.
Or are we just going with one, or just who?
No, all 5. List your 5, and then if there's any discussion to be had.
Oh, all right, bet. Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna go 5-1, make it a little interesting. So at 5, I got Cade Cunningham. I think this year he has proved
Kem's face already.
No.
He has proved all the doubters wrong of just like who he is as a player. Yes, the team as itself, still has improvements, but has improved so much on its own. He is just, I feel like, all-around game. He gets into the lane. He passes. He's averaging over 9 assists a game. I think he's phenomenal. 4, I got Jalen Brunson. Given, haven't seen him in a little bit. I think Jalen Brunson is still that motherfucking guy. I think he's just what's that face, Thomas?
4.
I'm nicked out.
4. Where do you got him, big dog?
I got him 3rd, but 4. I thought he was undoubtedly.
I got him 3rd.
All right.
No, keep going. I got Steph 3. He had a really slow start to the season.
Who's number 2?
Oh,
bro, are you good, gang? Are you all right?
Oh wait, you're including. My bad. You're including Luka.
Point guard. What
yes, bro.
About?
What are you talking about? We're going position, real position, bro. Yeah.
My fault.
Our list is pretty much identical, bro.
Yeah. So I got Steph 3rd because he, slow start to the season from All-Star break on. He's been on a tear since he got Jimmy Butler. He's been on a tear. I love how Steph has been playing. 2, right now I got Luka. Just because, Shea is having that MVP-esque season. He is going to win MVP. I'm full-fledged, Jokic and Nuggets ain't get that 3 seed. So, like I said in the last episode with Thomas, it's Shea that's winning it. And so, yeah, I got Shea, Luka, Steph, Brunson, Cade.
Okay.
Yeah, man. You going next, Tom?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Right, let's go.
So I have a similar list now that
Okay.
I completely forgot that Luka was there. So I got Cade at 5.
Disrespectful.
I was debating between Cade and Damian Lillard because Damian Lillard's still out there balling.
He is, but I can't do it.
Cade has done things for the Pistons that not a lot of people have done for the Pistons. All right. Jalen Brunson I have at number 4. I do think maybe you could put him ahead of Steph, but it's just who Steph is that puts Steph at 3 for me. When Steph is on, they're absolutely unbeatable. Number 2, I got Shea. Listen, hear me out. I know he's the MVP of the league. I know Shea is probably the best player in the league this year, but I have Luka at number 1 because I need to see what Shea does in the playoffs before I can undoubtedly crown him over Luka. Luka he got that Mavs team to the finals last year, granted with Kyrie's help. But before that, like I've always said about Luka, all the times that he's had crazy playoff moments, getting them sorry Mavericks to places that they shouldn't be. If Shea is to fail in the playoffs this year, you guys are going to agree with this argument because we have not seen Shea do anything in the playoffs yet. That's my only argument. I think talent-wise, they're both top 5 players in the league. Some could even say they're top 3 players in the league. So I don't think this is really as much of a stretch as Kem is making it seem. So go ahead.
My God. I don't know, man. Hold on. Let me just get my joint out and then you could go ahead, man. I just want. All right. So listen, we all agree on Cade at the nickel. At the nickel spot. I have no problem with that. I think he's risen. You know what I mean? He's risen in and cracked that top 5 easily just by what he's doing with Detroit offensively. You know what I mean? He's in the stratosphere. Even Zeke wasn't in as a point guard, as far as I've witnessed, right? 4. No, real talk, man. 4, I'm going with Jalen. Just like everybody else, man, he is elite when healthy. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing that I could say about
Did you guys ever think when the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson, he'd be in this top 5 point guard conversation?
I didn't know. You know what I mean? But no, hell no. Let's say hell no, right? No, hell no, right? Right now.
Wait, hold on, Matt. How big was your water bottle? What the fuck?
Oh my God. Oh,
I gotta drink a lot of water, big dog.
Okay, bro. All right. So 3. I think we are identical. I got to go with Steph, man. He's still elite, best shooter ever, offensive engine. All right. 4 of those Warriors, with the addition of Jimmy Butler, it seemed to ignited a whole new fire inside of him that it looks like we're going to get another 5 good years out of him. 2, I got to have Luka this year, right?
Like I said, I can't be mad at that.
I gotta have Luka.
We're talking about like these 2 players are both in our like top 5 whole league.
Yeah,
so.
without a question. And we're saying right now, like, and I won't even measure Luka's last season, what he did in the playoffs. None. I'm talking about right now. I'm going
okay,
to
so
say
then
Shea.
I'll argue with you. Like even right now, like
defensively, Luka's a fucking liability, and I'm a Laker lover. You understand what I'm saying? Shea will lock him down. You understand what I'm saying?
There's that special thing where a player's offense can also be their defense, and that's what makes Luka Doncic so fucking good. But go ahead.
Come on, man. We ain't gonna win that with Luka with just Luka getting 40 like he did with Dallas. We don't have that. We're going to see Luka.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
We're going to see the dimensions to Luka's game and what he's able to move up to with a player with the caliber of LeBron James that takes the place of 2 Liveleys and 2 Gaffords with just one bullshit ass Jackson Hayes. Excuse me, young blood. Keep playing hard though.
No, so yeah, like what Kem said, this is just me right now in this 1 minute. Yeah. You know how much I love Luka. Luka is one of my favorite players in the league, arguably all time at this point. Last year, I had Luka over Shea. From next year, I probably will have Luka over Shea. Just right now, in this moment, what Shea's been doing this year, I just got Shea over him. It is,
and like I said, that's absolutely fine. But even if you're considering right now, you still got to consider everything. You know what I mean? In a top 5 list. But all right, shooting guard. I'll lead this one off. Listen, you guys might love me, but at number 5. I got Austin Reeves at number 5. Top shooting guard.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Austin Reeves.
AR in there. Okay. All right.
But listen, maybe his stats aren't up to par with everybody else. But that's also because of Anthony Davis and LeBron being there at the beginning of the season. But since Luka's got there, it's elevated Reeves to this whole other level. I mean, he's like, again, he's got all this gear. He's bulking up. Like, he's absolutely scary. Number 4, and I don't give a shit. Number 4, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. I got Devin Booker. Listen, Devin Booker disappointed me heavily this year.
Ooh.
He was not a game changer. He was not a leader. He was not. He may have put up a bunch of empty stats, but I got Devin Booker at 4. Number 3, I got Jaylen Brown. The Finals MVP last year. He deserves all the credit in the world for that. He was so consistent defensively, offensively for the Celtics, and he carried that into this year. And the Celtics are cruising, business as usual. Jaylen Brown is always going to be a big part of that. Number 2, I got Donovan Mitchell. I mean, listen, man, he's leading the Cavs. I know me and Matt have said that Evan Mobley is the reason why the Cavs are as good as they are. But Donovan Mitchell has taken this next step as a leader and has really led these young dudes to where they want to be, which is a championship threat. And I have to commend him as a leader, as a ball player. He's also had this ability to not be so selfish. He has not had the ball in his hands this year as much as he's had his whole career. So just as a maturity, aspect into that, I love Donovan Mitchell. But number 1, I got Ant, and I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards is just that dude.
Yeah.
A big 3-point shooter now out of nowhere. He's in there on every play on defense. You just love the player that he is, and him with this sorry ass team that he now has around him, he absolutely cooking. He's the only reason why this team has a chance.
Okay, want me to go this time?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't have too many. So listen, you had a delightful entry at number 5 with AR-15. I can't be mad at that, right? But listen, I'm gonna give an obscure one myself, right? Right now, right?
Jalen Suggs.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You saw his face.
Not too far, but way better.
Derek White?
Desmond Bain. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm going.
Can't be mad at that.
Yeah, I'm going with Desmond
I like
Bain.
that.
Right. Devin Booker.
At 4.
Jaylen Brown. At 3. Donovan Mitchell at 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Similar list.
And AE at number 1. Absolutely.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
young boy. Yeah.
So
You said he's shooting all them threes. That's how he shoot his threes now.
Hey,
Ain't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how Ja Morant get
more.
fined? Yeah, but Ja Morant get fined for that. But AE could do that. Like when he shoot his threes, watch him. Just watch him. He do like
but like he ain't.
he do
But
like
like
this
John
and-
Morant, like he carries all these like charges and
They
like
put out a
do like
statement.
this.
He wasn't
And put
charged
him in
with a
his
damn
pocket.
thing, but he the NBA put out a statement. Nobody's allowed to do it no more.
Yeah, he just did it the other night when he
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
he just killed what's name.
Well,
It's
you
crazy.
can't-
He
You
ain't get
can't have
fined.
these and kill in the same
Mhm.
sentence, big dog.
Like- Okay, my
All right,
bad.
so
That's
I do
mine.
have one person different
Okay.
that neither of you two had, and given he's injured right now and he might be injured all of next season.
Oh, so we all got our 5th person different. I
Yeah,
like that.
that's fire.
No. So yeah, I don't even know why I did that. But I got Reeves 5. My bad. I skipped over that I have Reeves 5.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Reeves 5. That's
I love it.
that's my white boy. That's my white boy. LA.
Okay.
I'm riding for LA. But number 4, I do have somebody that I didn't think either of you were gonna have on the list because he's injured right now. Might be injured most or if not all of next season. But ever since he was on the Nets, he's been playing 2 guard. And Kyrie Irving, I have as my 4 spot for 2 guard. He's
Okay.
just been, as far as when he's on the court,
Damn.
he has
Who'd you
been
leave
that
off?
guy for consistency.
Not bad.
He has been that guy as far as consistency goes. So the person I left off, I will say, that would be in this spot. I have Jaylen Brown in my 3 spot. Like as far as
Oh, okay.
a small forward, small
Okay.
forward spot. I have Jaylen Brown in the small forward category, so I don't have him
Okay.
in my shooting guard category.
Oh,
3,
wow.
I have D-Book. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing you guys said. He, that whole Suns team has been a fucking letdown.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the leader he's supposed to be. D. Mitch has been the leader he's supposed to be. He's at my 2. He's
Like that
been
little segue.
carrying that shit. Him and Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Jared Allen going to town on everybody they see. And of course, bro, number 1, Ant, man. He is he's just amazing. That's Michael Jordan's son right there. That's Michael Jeffrey Jordan Jr. I don't give a fuck. That motherfucker has aura. Aura farming every night he gets the ball.
All right,
All
so top 5 small forwards. Why don't you lead us off then, Matt?
So at number 5, I have J-Dub on OKC. I think he is a Swiss Army knife. I think he does what all the dirty work that nobody else wants to do. He has a polished 3-point game, polished midi game, attacks the basket. I just love what he does. At 4, I have Jaylen Brown. So yeah, he just plays more 3 than 4 nowadays because you got Derek White and everything. So number 3, I got Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh.
I got Kawhi Leonard. He's been phenomenal since when he is on the court. But we say this every year. Probably won't be on the court much longer. Who the hell knows? But as of right now, I got Kawhi. He's been nice over the last few months, or like month or two.
That's a fair point, though. I mean, he's still one of the top players when healthy.
Yep,
so
yep.
I mean, I have Embiid on my center list. So
yeah. And you guys are probably gonna look at me stupid because I have Jaylen Brown on this list. I have Tatum in my small forwards as well.
Yeah.
What's good with you?
Because, bro, both of them have more time as small forward than power forward or shooting guard. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. To make my list work, they're both fitting in the small forward. So I have Jason Tatum at 2. He's just year by year solidifying that he is the real deal. We all meme about him. We all talk shit about him. Jason Tatum's that real motherfucker. He gets it done on the court. He's efficient as hell. Number 1, I got Bron. Number 1, I got Bron. Okay. That motherfucker's still a top 5 player in the league at this particular point. He's killing it this year. I have him in MVP considerations just because of how good he's been, how healthy he's been this year. I got Bron at 1.
And now my man groin all messed up, but he was jumping around though too. So
that shit fine. That shit fine.
Yeah, it better be. It better be, bro. We need him. Whew.
Yeah, we do.
Kem, you want to go or you want me to take it?
I don't care, man. Listen, man, I'm Nick heavy, man, today, man. So I'll go number 5, man. I'm going for that 5 pick give up for that Nova Nick, Mikal Bridges, right?
Okay.
Listen, right? Iron Man. I ain't gonna play no game. Iron Man, he ready to play, even though he'll tell Tom Thibodeau cool out a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? He always
another
ready.
Year where he's played every game.
Yes, suited and booted. Listen, I don't like the debacle, you know what I mean? At the end, they getting back used to Jalen Brunson, you know what I mean, doing everything that he does in clutch moments to where he dropped the ball on the, you know what I mean, in the corner the other night. But I still, you know what I mean, top 5 without a question, small forward for me, right? Then after that, I gotta go with, man, Mr. Jimmy Buckets, man. I don't know what, you know what I mean? Listen, Jimmy still get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got him playoff performer 2-way. I like people that play defense, man. I like all around people for my small forward, right? Then I'm going with, like y'all said, man, he's back right now. He the playoff killer, and we're in playoff time, and he has not looked like he's in any type of, like, downward spiral right now. I'm going with Kawhi Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Because when it comes playoff time, he doesn't lose, right? So
he seems healthy and ready to go for these playoffs.
Real shit, man. Number 2, I can't be mad at the MVP consideration. Year 21, still looking all around brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, I was just playing around with his groin, but we do need him. LeBron, number 2, solid for me.
Kevin.
Listen. Oh, come on, man. All right, my fault. Yeah, my fault, man. All right, man. Whatever, man. Come on. Yeah, come on. Well, whatever, man. Them soft tissues. But number one. Listen, man, I can't believe y'all gave him all the praise and accolade. You know what I mean? Saying that year to year, he's proven himself and but he's not number 1. Jason Tatum is the number 1 small forward in the NBA today. Right now. That's my top 5.
Bron. You feel me, Bron?
That's my top 5. That's my top 5. You know what I mean?
All right, so listen, I want to give a big honorable mention to Franz Wagner.
Oh, yeah, I thought about it, but then I quickly unthought about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. But number 5, Kem went with Mikal Bridges, and I'm going with OG Anunoby at number 5. Listen, OG carried these Knicks this season through a very dark time where things could have really fallen apart after Jalen Brunson got hurt. Mikal Bridges has been, for the most part, consistent, but he hasn't been OG Anunoby. Anunoby is killing it on the defensive end. Bridges, he is a great 2-way player, but he has left a lot to be desired this year on the defensive end of the ball.
And they're 2 different sizes.
Carried it. No, I know, but they play the same position. Either, one of them comes in at small forward, other comes in at power forward, what have you. But OG Anunoby, he's that guy. The Knicks, they weren't considered championship threats last year until he walked in the door, and we went on that insane run. This year, I think, and we'll get to the segment, the Knicks are absolutely championship threats, and one of those big things is that OG Anunoby is going to go into the playoffs healthy again. But number 4, I got Jalen Williams. Everything Matt said. Jalen Williams, he's really good. He does it all. He does all the dirty work. I think he's Michael. He is Scottie Pippen to SGA's Michael Jordan. I hope the only reason I want the Thunder to win is so that I can say that I had that little theory. But number 3, Kawhi Leonard. Healthy going into the playoffs. They're winning some real big games down the stretch here. If anyone's paying any mind to the Clippers. Number 2, I got LeBron James. Listen, Matt, I think you're out of your mind to put LeBron above Tatum.
I get it.
I have Tatum at number 1 because, listen, Tatum is the number 1 player on the number one team in the East. LeBron is 2. Some days he's 1, some days he's 2. But Jason Tatum, and this is like my first time ever giving him flowers, he's just getting better and better. And, right now it's hard to see anyone beating the Celtics, and a lot of it is Jason Tatum.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you guys. It's just Bron. I just gotta go Bron.
I know, but we had to take our little shots.
One thing I am shocked at, because Kem is such a big Shea fan and OKC fan, that he doesn't have J-Dub in that. I thought that was a gimme for you.
Well,
you fuck with Shea so hard and everything.
Yes. So listen, this is the crazy thing, right? I'm fucking with Shea over because he was also traded, right? Remember, he was traded to OKC.
Yeah,
he was developed a little bit more, right? So I believe that the ascension that we saw with Shea, right? And this is going to kind of go into our playoff taking a little bit as well. I don't know how much I can count on the others, you know what I mean, if we build a wall for Shea. I love J-Dub. I think he looked good.
Build the wall.
You know what I mean? Since he's came back, you know what I mean? Real talk. I appreciate that too, both of y'all. You know what I mean? But word is bond. Once a wall is built in the playoffs, you know what I mean, for Shea, we got to see what the others do, bro. Like, real talk.
Okay, no,
I love
hell
it.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I respect that.
Let's see. But
all right, so who wants to lead off the power forwards?
This is going to be interesting. I know for sure this one is.
Yeah.
I can
I'll
go. I don't mind.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. So number 5, I only have him there because I know he's a true center, but he's been playing more power forward, now than he ever has in his career. I got Sabonis.
Okay.
Have to put him here. The reason why I put him here too is because I wouldn't have him as a top 5 center. I want to give him at least a little bit of flowers as the number 5 power forward. But
okay.
Number 4, I got Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a great defender. He's a great shooter. But I will, for the life of me, I will never understand. I almost had a stroke.
Yeah, I thought so.
I will never understand how he's not this rebounder that the Grizzlies have always fucking needed.
Yeah.
They've needed it. They've been bleeding for it, and they got Edie for it. And it's just like Jaren Jackson should be able to do more on the rebounding side of the ball. But on a positive note, I think, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. He's also taken a step above in his offensive game. All that stuff's cool. Number 3, I got Kevin Durant, easy money sniper, that guy. He has had, I get it, the Suns have been terrible, but Kevin Durant has had an amazing year this year. It sucks that it's a year wasted for Kevin Durant, but he's number 3. Number 2, I got Evan Mobley. I don't know how much more praise I can give this guy, but he's number 2. Does it all on defense, but he's also very underrated on the offensive end and everything that he does for Cleveland, man. Like he's the Iron Man of Cleveland. And I got Giannis number 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a gimme right
he's starting to become an underrated player in this league. Not a lot of people are singing his praise, and he is dominating.
Beasley definitely
top
singing
3.
his praise. You saw that last night?
That was
Beasley,
funny.
What happened?
Beasley was not messing with him.
He was
yeah.
The last second shot that he kept hitting his arm. Like, fuck away from me.
Yeah, it was dope.
All right,
me? Okay, yeah. So, all right, we got a little difference here. So, F5, I have Evan Mobley. Like everything you said, juggernaut, Iron Man for that team. His defensive game has always been great, but keeps improving. His offensive game is finally getting to a level to where you can respect it on that level. 4, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. just because I think he does the defensive work that Evan Mobley does, but I think his offense is just that much better. I do agree with you though. That motherfucker can't rebound for the life of him. It's crazy. I don't understand it.
That's the one thing that they've needed is just a
Yeah, I don't
strong,
understand it,
dominant
but
rebounder.
his two-way play is just so good that it's hard to pass up. Again, you left him off. I don't know if you maybe have him on your center list or if it's because he's injured. He's been injured lately, but I have AD at 3. It's
shit.
Anthony fucking Davis, man. It's Anthony Davis.
Well, we won't be making a short out of my top 5.
Yes, we will. It's just Anthony Davis. He's just that before he got traded and the injury and everything, he was bugging this year. He was going.
He's number 2 on my list then, because I actually did forget AD.
He is not on your list at all.
You missed that.
Yep, he's not on your list, guys. Don't cut it. Number 2, I have KD. He's just like you said. His efficiency in his old age is still just fucking phenomenal. He just is on a team that just can't put it together, and maybe it's because
he's been mostly healthy.
Maybe it's because that his play just doesn't translate to winning. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But I just think
the
that
Suns
whole
are
team's
just
play doesn't translate to winning. And then at 1, this is the gimme. He's top 5 player in the league. I think people are very much underrating him anymore. He puts up 30 and 13 and nobody blinks bats an eye at him. And it's Giannis. Giannis is my number 1. He's all of our number 1s. I know it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Nice list, fellas. Nice list.
For sure. Except for Thomas just not having AD. You feel me?
Yeah, I really cannot believe that. So for the simple fact of why y'all put this guy, I'm gonna put him as an honorable mention, but screw the honorable mention. Let's go with number 5. Like number 5 for me right now is going to be Pablo Banchero, 22-6.
Yeah, I was fighting for him or Mobley, but
listen, that's my 5. Number 4 is Evan Mobley, though.
Okay.
All right, listen, number 4 is Evan Mobley for me. All right, so without a question. Everything that you guys already said, and I'm talking about right now. These guys are like literally on ascensions. Now number 3 for me, right? I ain't gonna play with this one, because at the end of the day, even though he was a part of a trade, we saw him go down after a quarter, but ever since coming back, he got them boys ready for the play-in. You know what I mean? We got to go with AD, man. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't not leave him. You can't put him in there.
Well, apparently you can if you're Thomas, but
yeah,
he's pretty overrated. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay, brother. Whatever you talking about.
I'll stick with it, I guess. You guys are making me stick with it.
Number 2 and number 1, I think all 3 of us had lined up. I got Easy Money Sniper, KD. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a team without having KD. And number 1, you can't have number 1. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Giannis, man.
I had to put Mobley ahead of Kevin Durant just for the simple fact of what he's contributing.
His offense
just isn't, but I'm not mad at it.
You can't. It's just not. But and then KD, he's big buckets every night, regardless of how shitty Phoenix is. You're gonna still not be mad that you paid whatever you paid to come to the game.
I'm super interested in this 5 list because I just want to see where people have Embiid, man. I want to, or if they have Embiid.
I'm gonna go quick just because I want to get to the next segment. Number 5, I got Sengun. You know, everything that he's added to the Houston Rockets, he's emerging as their best player, as their leader, as everything they need him to be. And as you already seen, it's a winning formula when you have a center that's not selfish, a center that's willing to pass the ball. So number 4, I got Joel Embiid. Listen, normally, even if he was injured, I'd probably have him at 2. But now we're starting to get to this point with Joel Embiid where, that this injury seems like it's really going to take out the back half of his career. But for right now, I have him at 4 because when he does get on the court and he's actually healthy, he's probably a top 3 player in this whole game. And I have to respect that until he really shows me otherwise, which next year will be the test for that. But number 3, I got Wembanyama, man. I mean, I know he, got the blood clot out for the year, but, being in his second year, being as tall as he is, being, showing what he can do on the rebounding and the blocks and the scoring. I do think he has a lot to learn and he has a long way to go, but his sheer talent alone puts him as 3 on my list. Number 2, I got Karl Anthony Towns, man. I don't like him, but I don't have to like him to understand that he's the second best center in the league right now. I think once we get to the playoffs, we're going to really get to see who Cat is. And I don't know what that is yet. I don't know if he's going to choke. I really don't know what's going to happen, guys. But listen, Cat's number 2 on my list for now. Number 1, it's Jokic, man.
Best player in the league.
He's going to go feed his horses after the season. He doesn't give a fuck that Malone got fired. He doesn't care.
That's funny.
All right,
Cam,
let's see.
You run it this one.
Okay. So 5 for me is going to be Karl Anthony Towns. I told you I'm New York heavy. You know what I'm saying? 5 for me, Karl Anthony Towns. We cannot play. He's had a really good season.
Yes.
But 5 right now for me. Number 4. Excuse me. 5, 4. All
There
right.
we go. There we go.
Shit. There we go. 5, 4. I'm going with Zubac, man. 20-10 season for the LA Clipper, man. This is actually his best season, the first season ever where he got a triple-double in a game, you know what I mean, over his career. And all he seems to be doing is going up. He's gobbling everything up around the basket, you know what I mean? Offensive rebounding is crazy. All right, so when I go to number 3, I got to go to Bam Adebayo.
Hold on.
He's averaging 16 and 12.
Yeah, it's a double-double.
Yeah.
I know you want to move on, but
no, I'm going to Bam. I'm going to Bam Adebayo for 3.
These 2 over Karl Anthony Towns, Ken?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Bro,
Yes.
24 points a game, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 52 from the field, 42 from the 3.
Hey, man.
I do have to agree with Thomas on this
one. We're talking about bum-ass Bam Adebayo at 3.
Karl Anthony Towns don't play. Listen, Karl Anthony Towns don't play no defense, man. He's getting
put
cooked.
Zubac over Karl Anthony Towns?
Yes. If I move Karl Anthony Towns to the power forward, I would not play him over him. If I had Zubac and Karl Anthony Towns, I would play Karl Anthony Towns at the power forward so that he would not be a liability for me on defense.
But you're
this
sitting
is one
here
of the problems why the Knicks have not beaten any of the actual upper echelon teams at all yet.
But they're still the 3rd seed.
That doesn't mean anything. They haven't had when it comes to a real test, they've lost every single time. Listen, we haven't talked about it yet, bro. You want to play with my list? Them niggas just lost a 23-point lead to Cleveland again. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm still wearing this shit. And you want me to put Karl Anthony Towns above the list? No, it's not happening. He has not. He's put on one of the. He's put on in games he ain't put on in none of the games he's supposed to yet. In all of the games that they've won, they're 0-9 against the top teams. Do you know what he's averaging? The motherfucker can't get over 16. Come on, bro. Come on. Matt, do you mind just pulling that up for me real quick?
Unfortunately, most of them games are blowouts, so he's not playing in the fourth quarter.
I'm talking about the games where, yes, it does not matter. He's supposed to impact so there is not a blowout, right?
Zubac?
Yeah, bro. Listen, if we're looking at, want me to tell you why I'm gonna say. Now listen,
they're nothing without Jimmy Butler. They can't.
But they're gonna make it there in the play-in. But check it out. Hold on, and now I'm gonna give you a case for both of these guys. The Knicks is supposed to be notably better. I thought that it was gonna be a better 3-headed race between Cleveland, Boston, and New York. Right now, it's looking like.
It's a one-team race. The Cavs been dominating all year.
But listen, we already know that it's really Boston's to lose. We can talk about the regular season doesn't mean shit.
Well, still, if you want to talk about the 3-team race thing, acknowledge the facts that the Cavs have been above and beyond all season long.
Without a question, just as for a race, as far as the race goes. But how they've looked in the race, the Knicks have not beaten them at all. Okay, and this last game was the closest that the Knicks have looked like they were gonna get a dub.
I don't even know a stat to throw about you about.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to catch the stat of Karl Anthony Towns' points in these losses against Cleveland, Boston, OKC, like the top teams.
Do you have that same spotlight on Zubac? We don't even have a fucking stat to pull up for that.
Because this is what I was gonna use. We all just put
Zubac doesn't even get more than 20 minutes some games.
But hold on,
you can't even use him half the games.
I'm gonna tell you why. We all 3 of us just agreed that Kawhi Leonard is the best small forward, right? And his ascension through this 17 game excuse me, through this 17-game streak that has them at the number 5 seed right now in the West, right? No, excuse me.
And the Knicks have a better record.
Yes, the Knicks have a better record. We're going to keep that fair, right? But what I'm talking about is a team that was not supposed to be anything to us also now recognizing who Kawhi Leonard is and what.
And is this all because of Zubac? I'm lost.
It's with Zubac. It's with Zubac. It's with Norman Powell. It's
okay,
with
and on the other hand,
James
the Knicks
Harden.
are the third best team in the East, and that is a large part due to Cat.
The Knicks should be better. The Knicks should be better. The Knicks should be better.
Okay,
with Cat.
And if the Clippers were good or bad, we wouldn't be looking at Zubac.
No, that's not. But that's not what I'm saying. We're talking about the top 5 centers right now. Zubac has been a part of the Clippers' impact winning over the past since Ty Lue has been their coach. So even though they haven't been championship bound, they've had better, season records looking way better than the Knicks. Come on, bro. Let's not play just because over the last 2 seasons we've been getting better, or New York has been getting better since the addition of Jalen Brunson.
Then, okay,
and the
but
Knicks.
Then how do you have? Then how do you
Clippers,
not have Jalen
as shitty
Williams?
as they are, have a better sustained winning seasonal record than the Knicks. You know what I mean? That's why we were able to give up 5
then how
picks
is Jalen Williams not? How is Jalen Williams not a top 5 player at his position when he's contributed greatly to their winning? And how is McCall Bridges even top 5 in that argument when you're sitting on the Cat Cat because the Knicks aren't?
J-Dub is really a 2 guard though. He's a 2 guard.
But he wasn't on any of your list.
No, listen, because
if he was a 2 guard, he would have been 5 on your list.
No, he's yet to prove it.
Yet to prove what?
He's yet. So listen, bro. They made it to the playoffs last year.
What has Zubac proven that?
What have they done? Zubac. So that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Jokic is the only motherfucking center unicorn that has ever played in the NBA that does what he does. That does points, rebounds, and assists. He's offensively like that. He's the first to ever do that. So when we're saying center, you can't say that Jokic and Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Bam, anybody that you want to put in the center list does anything that Jokic does. None of them at all. Because we're judging centers on a totally different curve than you judge everything else. So when I'm judging Zubac, his impact level for what he is as a true center, he doesn't have a skill set like Karl Anthony Towns where he actually can dribble, put his head down, do a move, has a ditty, all that type of shit.
He doesn't. A true center.
Yeah, but Karl Anthony Towns doesn't even like to play like a center. That's why he's
averaging damn near 12 rebounds a game.
Bro, that doesn't have anything to do with the position responsibilities and the clarifications of the position. Now,
who's second on your list? Who's second? We gotta keep this moving. My bad.
Nah, man, we gonna eat all that shit up though. I got Joel Embiid. Hey yo, man, you gotta stop, Levy. Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic.
Okay, so for me, that was crazy. And just to clarify, Cat versus Boston this year has averaged 19 and 12 on 50 40 90 or 50 40 80, and then against the Cavs he's averaged 20 and 10 on like 55 30 and 80. So he's definitely against those teams he's definitely lower. But anyway, my list, I got Sengun at 5. I'm just gonna run through this. Embiid at 4, Cat at 3, Wemby at 2. I just think he a dog, but I know he been injured, but I'm still throwing him in there. And then I got Jokic at 1. I do love Zubac being an addition in there, man. I love that.
Yes, man. I gotta have people that's winning, bro. I don't care. And then I put the bullshit. Damn. Then I just slipped up and realized that I had just through. I said I like people with winning, but I put Embiid in there because I was trying to fix my list. Oh my god. Oh my god. I wanted that. Yeah, I wanted so the crazy shit is, bro. I love So as we were talking a little bit earlier, I loved Wemby as it was going on throughout the season before the blood clot was getting crazy, to be honest with you. Sengun, I can't say enough. He's another person that when you gotta offensively, he's crazy. He does good against other centers who, you know what I mean, like who play offense and don't play defense.
Yeah.
Like he'll get his shit off on Chet because Chet is real slim and Chet is also thinking about what he's going to do to him on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he plays somebody. And that's why I like Zubac, because Zubac's not going to do all that. He's actually just going to.
He's just there to maybe get a post, 2 dribble, bow, or putbacks, or quick pick and roll. That's all he plays.
Absolutely.
He ain't going to hold the ball at the top of the key.
No.
Get boop,
no, he's not doing none of that. They're two totally different types of centers. Yeah, they're two different types of centers. And I think that if Karl Anthony Towns was even asked to do anything of that nature, he wouldn't be able to impact winning the same way that he does because he's offensive.
More flagrant talk about Cat.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Go ahead, bro. Let me hear you, though.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go for now, just for the sake of time.
Mm-hmm.
My list,
but I think you're out of your goddamn mind, Kem.
Just know that my list was a lot closer to yours than Kem's. So there we go. I already ran through mine.
So Karl Anthony Towns, just to set the record straight, Karl Anthony Towns, Zubac, Bam Adebayo, Wembanyama, and Nikola Jokic.
All right, yeah, I'll run through mine one more just because Thomas in here. Sengun, Embiid, Cat, Wemby, Jokic. Yeah,
ours was pretty close.
Yeah.
But to move on, it is time to talk about the playoffs. So even though we had a longer segment to go off of, we had some really good conversations here. We are going to go right into playing a game. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the teams that are in the play-ins and obviously the regular playoffs itself. And for every team that you hear that you think can actually legitimately win the championship, you have to take a shot. All right, so we'll start with the East. The Miami Heat. It's like, nah, just take a shot for every team. Oh, man, that's another team that just really went downhill. All right, the Chicago Bulls. I told you, Matt, they'd make the play-in this year.
Shout out Mato.
The Giddler. Number 8, the Atlanta Hawks. No. Look at Cam. Cam's just not bothered.
No.
Number 7, the Orlando Magic. Could have had a much different season this year.
Yeah,
if not for those injuries in the beginning.
Injuries.
Number 6, the Detroit Pistons.
Next year, maybe.
Okay. Imagine they beat the Knicks in the first round. That would be a tragedy.
They will. No, what? I'm playing.
Number 5, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Not moved.
Does anybody think, is Damian Lillard going to be there or no?
I think whether he's there or not, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, they got Doc Rivers. You guys got a point there. All right.
But
number 4,
he is one of the only coaches with a championship.
No, that's fine, but we know why. Number 4, the Indiana Pacers. Nope. Imagine anyone taking a shot to that. All right, number 3.
I will say, though, real quick, if there was a random team to knock off either the Celtics or Cavs, I think the only team it could possibly be is the Pacers because they have so much fucking depth that, the Knicks do not have. But I don't think they're gonna, so it is what it is.
Halliburton ain't got it like that, unfortunately, not yet. Number 3, the New York Knicks.
Disgusting. There you go.
As you guys already know.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, God. Oh, God.
You the homie, though. Sometimes I think we watch a different game, man.
No. We're not. Yo, listen.
Fandom and all.
I'm going to believe until I can't believe anymore. But mainly, listen.
That's hilarious.
What I've seen it as, this whole season, the number 1 goal has been for the New York Knicks to get into the playoffs healthy. With Jalen Brunson back and a few games under his feet, they have achieved that. And what I like is I think this season, Tom Thibodeau has been trying different things, a lot of things that just straight up didn't fucking work. But this whole season was in preparation for these playoffs right here.
You getting me hyped?
It was the only thing that matters for the New York Knicks is getting into the playoffs healthy and actually winning the fucking thing. Nothing else matters. And I think this whole season, the Knicks got to see what didn't work and what does work. And I think I wouldn't be surprised game 1 of the playoffs, the Knicks are putting on a defensive clinic because don't forget that Thibs can run a really good defense. All them players are in it for the chip. Yo, listen, y'all can laugh.
I'm
Fucking
not
laugh.
even laughing at you. I love seeing Kem with that devious ass smile like he's about to destroy you.
I'm loving it though. I love it. Cause listen, that's why I wore it too. We matching, but I don't know, bro.
Listen, Jalen Brunson is that motherfucking guy. Not a lot of people can stop him.
Yes.
Bridges and OG, they are such a combination, on the wing. But then, like, Cat adds a whole nother thing to this team, like in the playoffs, that is going to be hard to stop, brother.
Who are the
and then
role
Josh
players?
Hart, depth, huh?
Who are our role players?
Josh Hart.
No, give me 7 and 8.
Well, it doesn't matter. Tibbs is gonna play these guys like every minute of every game, so I don't care too much about the depth.
Tyler Kolek. No,
Celtics don't got depth like that either. The Cavs are the only team here with depth.
Celtics got 2 guys off that bench that are in the contention for 6-man.
Yes,
Pritchard and Hauser.
Yes, brother. Pritchard.
Are they to be trusted in the playoffs?
Yes. Pritchard could come get 30
last
easy.
Year. They were last
Pritchard
year.
Okay, but like Hauser, I don't know.
He got a sniper on him.
All right, so number 2. Let's all take a shot to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good Henny.
Yeah. I'm on the Stella, so I got to take a longer shot.
Oh man,
I'm off that good cushion alcohol.
Mm.
I'm gonna really have to consider this West here, not taking too many shots.
I'm telling you, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. Another day in the office for the Celtics. I don't.
Yeah, no. It's pretty self. I don't even think we've said enough. We just said it in the last against the Knicks too. Like they got. I
think they can be beaten. There's a couple scenarios. I think either the Knicks can take them out in the second round if God is on the Knicks side, but then I think the good thing for the Cavs, which would be the next team, is that they'll get if the Knicks can put up a good series against the Celtics, beat them up a little bit, I think the Cavaliers have a good shot against the Celtics. But number 1, the Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers.
The Knicks got to beat Detroit first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. And I'm with all this Knick apparel on. I'm just asking these questions. So
you're taking a shot for the Cavs? Okay, cool.
Yep. Woo.
So yeah, when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, yeah, dude, this is a bad idea. I hate alcohol. You guys know that.
You made the idea, didn't you?
I did. I really did.
Idiot.
But yeah, when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I do think they have a shot. They're coming. I think they've been punched in the gut. I know I say that for a lot of teams. Teams need to get punched in the gut, and they've been punched in the gut. I think they were punched in the gut last year. They were punched in the gut the year before. Donovan Mitchell stays. Garland actually has a good season this year. Mobley's one of the best players in the league. I absolutely think if they can take care of business in this first round, if they can send this 8 seed on packing quick, I'm talking 4 or 5 game series, and they're good to go for round 2. And then round 3, they'll get either the Celtics or the Knicks all beat up. I think they have a shot to go to the finals. I don't know if they win the whole thing, but I think they absolutely do have a shot.
All I'm saying is as long as the lights aren't too bright for Jared Allen, I think they'll be fine. But no, I feel like the only issue they should have is when they run into the Celtics. I could see that going either way, depending on which team is the most healthy when it gets to that point, and just which team has been on the stride and which team has the most rest prior. All those variables account into who I think could take that. And
I think it's that close.
So
I think it's that close.
Those teams are that good.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been saying a bunch of crazy shit on here today, right?
But we all do, big dog.
Yo, that's one of the reasons I miss you, though, right there. Real talk, right? And I'm gonna tell you why, bro. No, man, you good. Come on, man.
What did I do?
No, we bros. No, you my bro. But that's one of the reasons I miss you, right? Because sometimes you'll pull on the same thread, right? Me and Tom, but you'll pull on the same thread. That thread that I'm gonna say, the only reason I take a shot, because y'all know I'm kind of stern and standoffish when it comes to experience
saying someone's a championship threat,
and
yeah,
shit like that, right? But what I'm gonna say is you're pulling at the thread that I love the most. As it pertains to because of how good they are, it's gonna be about the attrition and shit like that.
The
Who is
other
literally
things.
like the other things are gonna play the role when they meet, should they meet, right?
Yeah.
I believe that because of the championship pedigree of the Celtics, you know what I mean? It's just now they ready. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, they've been through this shit 6 years straight, bro.
Going the
You
motion.
understand what I'm saying?
But a good
Like,
question is
you know
are
what I
they
mean?
too comfortable?
I don't think so. I
I
really don't think so. I think that
No.
Jason Tatum is about to turn the fuck up even more. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
And
think it's a little spooky because Jalen Brown's
This
knee
Knicks team,
is jacked up a
this New
little
York
bit.
Knicks team,
Mhm.
Bing Bong was built for that moment,
All
that
right.
second round
Mhm.
matchup.
I
They
also
are built
think
for it.
I also think Jason Tatum is fighting for his life to get the fucking respect to
Yeah.
not be overshadowed by Jalen
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
And
And
so
then
I think he is fighting for his life because he's gotten,
Mhm.
as much as I don't give a fuck about Jason
Mhm.
Tatum, don't
Mhm.
dislike the dude, I just don't give a
Mhm.
damn.
Mhm.
He has been getting scrutinized for
Yeah.
so long, given he brings a lot of it on himself, getting a freaking tattoo of his face, all the Kobe shit, this, that,
Mhm.
third. He's corny as hell. He takes KG's lines. He takes everybody's lines. I get it. But that man has been on a mission, and I
Mhm.
think it's just going to continue. And like you're saying, the attrition, man, it's just like, let's just bring 2019 finals. Who was that better team? It was Golden
Mhm.
State. But when we got to that finals, what
Mhm.
team was healthier? What team had the game plan? It was the Raptors. It's just, it goes
Mhm.
to that. Whoever makes it
Yeah.
there in the best shape. It doesn't come down to
Mhm.
basketball at that
Yeah.
point. When
Mhm.
you're that deep
Mhm.
into the playoffs, it's everything else.
Because if you
Mhm.
really want to talk about it, the Bucks only won the championship that they won because everybody else was fucking shot and Kevin Durant, stepped on the line. But
Big
Mhm.
ass toe. You feel me?
so let's go to the
All right,
West.
little break.
To end
Little
this,
break. Let's, little break from
Damn, I
taking
think
yeah,
I
more
just
we're
shots.
gonna
took
we're
off
gonna.
nothing.
Yeah, you did. I
This
saw
is
it. I saw it.
and we'll end the episode with this, guys. We'll end the episode with this. So number 10, the Dallas Mavericks, and I'd be taking a shot if Luka was there. I'm just gonna say that.
If Kyrie was
All right.
healthy, I would probably be taking a shot. If you know what I mean, depending on how this block of games it went. So if
Yeah, because I'm not gonna
what's the
lie,
name
bro.
doesn't go down, or say he does come back and Kate and Kyrie doesn't get hurt, I don't know how the rest of the games go for them going into the play in and everything
Right.
I
like that.
agree.
Anyway, so that's
And let's
not a
just
bad
for the
choice.
sake of an argument, I mean, if they get in against the Thunder, I think that team stacks up well against the
Whew.
Thunder if
Yeah.
Kyrie was healthy.
Yes,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I like that point.
Mhm.
Number 9, the Sacramento Kings. Fucking goofy ass team.
Damn, the shade.
Yeah, they hit a crazy record though. Didn't we talk about that or didn't we? No. I was talking about that with a couple of other dudes. Check this out. One of the funny thing about Sacramento, DeMar DeRozan and fucking Zach LaVine did something that it's only been done before by two other players in NBA history. They scored 35 points apiece on two different teams, but as teammates. Antoine Jameson and Gilbert Arenas did it for
Hell yeah.
Washington and
Yep.
Golden State. They did it for Sacramento and Chicago. Crazy shit. Both of them never won shit though. Ain't that funny though? Oops, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Gil,
Yeah,
I
man.
fucks with you though, bro.
Yo, Gil, come on the pod, gang. You be all on social media lately.
Word. But yeah.
Number 8, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. I'd be taking a shot if all this bullshit just didn't happen the last several weeks. Man, I believe in them, man.
They plummeted.
I don't honestly when we look at the play-in, I don't know because if the Mavericks beat the Kings, I also think the Mavericks can beat the Grizzlies because I don't think the Grizzlies are going to beat the T-Wolves. I think Ant he's on a whole different level right now. He's entering
Mhm.
what he entered last year, towards the end of the year. Like he's in it. I don't think anyone's beating them, especially not in a one-game playoff. But the Minnesota Timberwolves, anybody taking a shot?
No.
No. Yeah, they don't have the firepower this year that they had last year, man. Like, losing Cat was huge, but like I don't even necessarily think it was Cat. It was just replacing Cat with Julius Randle that kind of did it. And then Dante DiVincenzo, I was telling everybody, bro, he's not as good as everyone was making him out
He's
to be.
had
I
a
get
better
it.
second half of the season. The first
No,
half was
yeah, and
dog
I know,
shit,
but like the people that like were saying like he's gonna be this big piece, he's gonna, ultimately lead to games won. It's just he just fit what Tom Thibodeau was looking for last year. But you got to remember who he was before last year. He's not this player that a lot of people thought he was just because he did good on the Knicks. That's all I got to say about that.
Damn.
But number 6, the Golden State Warriors. No, none of us think that the Warriors are going to win a ring.
Does not move me.
Not moving the needle. Okay.
Because you want to know why? You want to know why? Because first round, they probably going against the Lakers. Steph Curry, Del Curry, McDonald's McFlurry. Lakers in 5.
Yeah. I knew it was coming. You saw my face. I knew it was coming.
Come on. What are we talking
but I wouldn't be
here?
shocked. I would not be shocked if they
shocked
do make a
what?
deep run, though. If the Warriors make a deep run.
Draymond Green, Michael Breen, Paul Skeens. Lakers in 5.
Oh, Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens.
What are we talking about?
Oh, man.
Jimmy
All
Butler,
right.
Jay Cutler, them boys from Rutgers. Lakers in 5. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? All right, I'm done. Keep going.
Okay. Number 5, the Los Angeles Clippers.
That was the one team, other than my 2 big ones, that I was like, damn, I might. But it's just, yes, they have the firepower. They're deep as fuck. They got Kawhi. They got James Harden. They got Zubac. But it's just like, I don't trust the health of the history of the health of those guys to make me think so. I thought about it, though, man. I was close.
I think when it comes to the Clippers, they're forever the little brother in LA. I don't care if they got a new arena. Kawhi is back. He's healthy. I wouldn't be shocked if Kawhi puts together some good games, but I don't think Kawhi got it like that no more. It's where he's the top.
Damn.
Is he a good offensive threat? Yes, but I don't think he really got it like that defensively anymore. He don't got it in his legs to carry it like he did in Toronto. I'm just saying, man.
Those is fighting.
Number 4, the Denver Nuggets.
Not without Mike Malone.
I would have. Yeah, I was gonna say I probably would have been taking a shot a couple weeks ago. That's also a cool thing with the coaches getting fired is that it kind of helped me not take a shot here because I would absolutely taken a shot.
I think I would have if they. Bro, that's continuity right there, keeping somebody like Mike Malone.
And it's just as good as Jokic is, you're going to have a shot every game no matter who you're playing.
It's just like Jokic is so good that it makes me want to right here. But it's like,
so do it.
What is the system that they're going to run out for these playoffs? They don't have
And that's the
one.
thing. You only have a few games to develop a whole new system.
Tough. It's tough. I just don't
And it don't make sense when you got Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic going 100 miles an hour.
If Kawhi does show up in that series,
that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah.
And if Kawhi does show up, man, I think the Clippers can beat the Nuggets round 1. But okay. Number 3, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Lakers in 5.
Oh, I thought Ken wasn't taking a shot. I was about to say.
Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5.
Listen, guys. I'm going to say it right here. The Los Angeles Lakers are my prediction to win the NBA Finals.
Woo! He's the GOAT! Anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, knock on wood,
Listen,
bro. Don't.
My bad. I gotta collect myself after that.
That was marble. I gotta find wood.
I got wood right here. I got us.
Thank you, bro.
Pause. That's
when it comes to the Lakers. Listen, LeBron wants one. LeBron wants one more desperately, brothers.
Yes,
LeBron has locked in, and I get it. He has a groin injury.
He deserves one more.
Honestly, with who they're,
groin, you feel me?
I think that he can afford to miss maybe the first couple games of that series with possibly the Warriors, possibly the Clippers, whoever the hell it ends up, the Timberwolves, whoever it ends up being. I think LeBron's going to tap in to LeBron. He's done it multiple times this season. He's shown that he can still win games. And then now you got Luka. Don't forget who Luka is in the playoffs. And then they have a bunch of random pieces around them where they can put schemes for every team that they face in these playoffs.
They got Jared
and I get it. Maybe they don't have the big center, but realistically, when you really look at it, when are they going to need that big center? If they take on the Rockets, they have Sengun. You're not going to need to put, this huge guy on them. When it comes to the Thunder, you're not going to need to have a top center out there. Hartenstein doesn't even really play like.
The one thing I will say with the Thunder is I haven't seen 2 big men chemistry like this since arguably the 2000 Spurs.
Who, Hartenstein
As
and
far as
Chet?
just chemistry, not skill, chemistry.
Okay.
The pick
You're
and
talking about
roll
Hartenstein
pairing
and
with
Holmgren?
Hartenstein and Chet is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just the give
And
and
that's good,
go
but
play with them is absolutely ridiculous.
but that's another duo there where the Lakers don't need to like have the most biggest, strongest center
You don't have
against.
to have the biggest, strongest guys, but you need to have active guys that are there, which I think Vanderbilt, Hayes, Rui, those are guys that are active in there. So I think we got the guys, but it's just those two are a dynamic that fucks up a lot of teams right now. And
But what it's really going to come down to in the playoffs, it's going to come down to a shootout. And I don't think I can convince myself that the Thunder can shoot out the King LeBron James and the Prince Luka Doncic. I don't think it can happen, especially when their third option is Austin Reeves. They're going to drive defenses nuts. We're talking about 7-game series here that you got to put this team away in. When has Luka just died? When has LeBron just died? And now we're talking about Austin Reeves in this equation.
all of them together.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. You feel me?
Like I said, Kem Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Old Country Roads, take me home. Lakers in 5.
Shay, meet me down by the bay. Give me some hay. Lakers in 5. That's a Happy Gilmore reference if y'all don't know.
So number 2, Houston Rockets.
Not yet, but in a year or two.
I love that they finished second, though.
Hell yeah.
You guys know I've been
Especially
a huge advocate for this Rockets
middle
team.
patch. Like, they started off super strong, had a little rough middle patch with some injuries. Jabari Smith messed up his hand. Van Vliet was out. They've been phenomenal in the second half. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they ended right.
Yeah, I love that team. It's just give it a year or two as far as contention.
Yeah, and a piece.
All right.
Another piece.
And then number 1, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. I'll damn near finish this to that one.
OKC, ABC, get the fuck away from me. OKC is not going to the finals. I said it here. I said it here and I said it live. Listen, are they a great team? Yes. But I don't think it's this year, man. I think if they get into a dogfight with the Lakers, I don't think they win. And that's just all I got to say. And on top of that, when you actually consider the fact that maybe on the off chance that they get paired with the Timberwolves, maybe if the Grizzlies are to be alive, maybe if Anthony Davis goes the fuck off, the Thunder can be beaten. Maybe not in a 7-game series, but they can at least get beaten in that first round 1 or 2 games where it kind of like we saw with the Suns, kind of takes them off of their high horse, kind of takes them off their throne, and then they're absolutely vulnerable the rest of the way. I'm sorry, OKC, see me later, WWE.
Sorry. All right,
AIDS,
listen, man.
HIV.
So listen, that was all you had to say. I just want to say something real quick, right?
The fuck?
As far as it pertains for Boston retaining their championship, the only team literally in the way, bro, is OKC. Even though I've taken shots here, it was to entertain and have fun with my boys. I do not really believe, man, that listen, I'm a Laker till I die. I believe that with the set of circumstances, if things go a certain way and the matchups, you know what I mean, work the way that they need to work, there's no telling. But as far as the sum of all parts throughout the regular season, King, you got to look at this shit, bro. We talking all about offense. We know that when the playoffs get here, it is about defense more than anything and half-court matchups. And OKC is actually number 1 in all categories that matter in defensive efficiency per 100 possessions. All right,
that's great, man.
Literally. No, I mean literally, King.
No, and then listen, man, that's good. Like, I'm not denying that they're a top team.
Literally,
I'm just
King.
saying,
literally, bro.
I'm gonna have to see it to believe it because I don't believe they can keep that pace against another good team in a 7-game series.
They done it. Now, when we break down certain little shit, this is why I like my Lakers, right?
Playoffs is a different animal, man.
And then listen, as it pertains to the West, right? They ran the gambit on the East. You understand what I'm saying? I think they lost 11 or 12 games on the West. The Lakers only lost 16 games on the West. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that cusp is real close. You understand what I'm saying? To whereas though as the matchup pertains to it, we don't really have a problem with anybody. That'll be the best matchup anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Where it kind of ends for the West. You know what I mean? As it goes, you know what I mean? As the record goes and just playing head-on-head matchups, there isn't anybody really better than us in the West. Now the records, you know what I mean, are the records. But you know what I mean? Let's really get down to it, man. I really think, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. We having, you know what I mean? We having our shots and shit, man. But that collection, and y'all know, listening, I'm the old head in the room. I'm throwback everything. This throwback Knicks, throwback jacket. But the truth is like, listen, man, listen, we throwing back to Stella, right? But I gotta be honest, man. What they've been doing is like they just gotta lose first. They gotta lose real quick, and then you understand what I'm saying. I'm back off of it, but their efficiency defensively, and like what Matt just said with that top 3 offense, it's gonna be hard, man. Like who the fuck
Lakers in 5.
Half court, man. Shea is a fucking monster. He putting people in trash bags and taking them with him. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun to see.
I'm way more scared of OKC than Thomas seems to be. But all I want to say is, every Laker great has had a finals against the Celtics.
Yes,
LeBron, to solidify him as a Laker great, needs this.
LeBron and Luka.
Thank you for cleaning that up for me, man. That was doom and gloom.
Get to the finals, LeBron.
But it'll be Lakers and Knicks. You don't even gotta worry about the Celtics.
I don't give a fuck about the Knicks. I need Lakers and Celtics.
No, if I'm to give you a little shred of honesty, I just didn't want to take another shot. So with that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe, leave some feedback, get on the train. This was one of my favorite episodes I think that I've ever done. Some great arguments, some great takes, some great laughs, some great conversation. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Matt is back. We're back. The NBA Finals, we are going to be with you every step of the way. WrestleMania is here. That's the next episode that's coming out after this one. The MLB season is hot and spicy. We're going to be with you every step of the way. Just come on along with us on this ride.
One more thing. Jason Tatum, Born Ultimatum. I got some picks. You want to rate them? Lakers in 5.
Ew, Lakers in 5. One last thing.
Off the dome.
Yeah, one last thing. Like, subscribe, join the conversation.
Oh, yes.
Be a little bit different, but it won't cost you a cent, man. Come on and holler at us, man. We having fun. Freestyling off the top for everybody.
A different conversation. Puerto Rican nation. Lakers in 5. I don't know.